morning. Today we are going to talk about leadership. So one thing that I see inherently, and I coach my team and anybody that I'm talking to, whether that's, a senior or a staff member, I always say, if you can't lead yourself, if you can't be disciplined yourself, if you can't, most importantly, hold yourself accountable for the actions that you take, the actions that you commit to, and that you can't be a leader, and you just won't be a good leader. Like, you could be the best individual performer on a team in any industry, vertical, sport, whatever it is, but if you can't hold yourself accountable and be a responsible individual, a respectful individual, and also you don't have, and this is really important, if you are not a person that empowers others around you, it is very unlikely, one, that you will ever become a leader, and if you do, you will not be a good leader. The ideal of being a leader is like this mystified thing, like, I want to get to management, I want to be in charge, is what most people look at it like. But really what you are is responsible times all of the individuals that you lead. And so it is important to already be practicing and exuding the energy and the confidence of a leader before you are made a leader. And why I'm bringing this up is because there are so many people I've seen in so many industries that I've been in, whether I'm consulting, whether I'm a W-2 employee, whether I'm the owner of the business, that are put into positions, and it is clear that they are not a leader. They think about all that they have to do, not how. And if you are always thinking as an individual, which a lot of us are, especially when you have pressure on you, right? And pressure is usually the best thing to bring out the leader, or the lack of ability to be a leader, lack of wherewithal at that point of being a leader, and that's where coaching comes in. But being a leader is being able to be 100% accountable for yourself, as well as being accountable for others, and then empowering others to be accountable for themselves. This is a skill set that many people do not have, and it is unfortunate that a lot of leaders are put into places where they shouldn't be leading other people. And so then what you end up having is dissension. People who don't respect those people, people who don't believe in what those people are saying, and then ultimately people who feel like they are led improperly. They're not inspired, they're not empowered, they're just told what to do. And if you are a leader that just tells people what to do without any empowerment, without any mentoring or coaching, and ultimately you don't hold yourself accountable for mistakes in front of your staff, and whenever it happens, then it's going to be really hard to create a strong team of leaders, because the objective is not to maintain the staff you have. That's a manager, not a leader. Managers maintain the status quo. Leaders change the bar. They set the bar. They move it higher. They empower others to be better than they are currently. They put processes into place. They put clarity around things of value so that the team can universally understand, accept, and commit to principles and practices that enhance the business or the endeavor that they are engaged in. So when you are put in a leadership position, I hope that you look at yourself every single day and say, how can I lead in a better way to empower others to be better leaders? Not be a boss. I hate that word, boss. A boss to me is someone who, barks out orders and then just expects everything to get done instead of being someone who coaches, learns, makes sure that they understand what their team needs to perform properly, and they address tough situations. They are the ones that will step in tough situations and coach and educate and mentor and empower others to have the confidence in their decision making. They'll allow them to make decisions, and whether it's wrong, right, good, bad, they will give them support, or they will give them mentorship and guidance if that decision was wrong, and they explain to them in depth why there was a better way, or why that way just simply was not the best way. And so I encourage all the people out there that have somehow, over the test of time or just by pure attrition of people being fired, etc., have got to a leadership role and then wonder why their people don't respect them. People don't respect them because they are not respected. And that's not just like, well, yeah, I have respect for people. Do your actions and your words convey that you respect people? Do the things that you put in place to support your team show that you respect what your team is going through and what the obstacles and the challenges that they have? So make sure you're focusing on how to empower people and add processes and clarity around people's duties and goals to make them so clear that people understand what the way is and how they can win every single day. And when you focus on those things, you can be a leader, because you are not, as a leader, responsible for just yourself. Managers will maintain the status quo, but a leader is a higher level, and they have a higher level of responsibility to grow the team and create other leaders and move the needle in the business. Hopefully that adds some clarity there and some value there, and I hope that if you are under a leader who is not a good leader, that you yourself, if you see that you are a leader, that means that you then take on that responsibility for yourself and your peers to have those tough conversations with a leader. And those are scary conversations, but if you're not willing to have those, you definitely can't have those when you are in a position of leadership. So if you do accidentally find yourself in a leadership position and you're having a really hard time, having tough conversations and then ultimately not ever having them, you're going to find out real quick what the level of your leadership abilities are by the results that you get and the vibe you create with your staff. So, again, if you want to be a leader, you have to make leadership decisions. Leaders don't just become leaders by a title. Leaders are there because of the actions that they take for themselves and others in any role that they're in, whether they are responsible only for one job or they are responsible for a team. And no matter what industry or position it is, leaders exude leadership abilities by the way in which they lead themselves and others when the time comes. So again, if you're out there and you're having a hard time having tough conversations, make sure that you get comfortable with that. Let people know that this is not comfortable for you to have this conversation, but you believe that it's very important to you, them, and the team that we get on the same page and make sure that we are aligned so that we can move the team forward, upward, and onward. Again, take that charge. Give you an example here so that hopefully I can add some more clarity here. Just had a team member in a junior leadership role that decided not to move forward in the junior leadership role. Sat down with him after the fact and said, hey man, I'm really curious as to what led you to your decision to end your term in the junior leadership role, which would then have led him into a leadership role. And he said, well, I messed up a lot of things, and I've also seen other leaders treat people very poorly, and I don't like the way that leadership is going. So I asked him several questions, and I won't go through the coaching and the discovery to get to the aha moments, but what he did come aha was that he was 100% accountable for the decisions that he made, for the mistakes that he made, good, right, wrong, indifferent. He's 100% accountable of that. And also as a junior leader going into leadership, he's 100% responsible for addressing the things that he was getting feedback on from other employees. They're telling you because they see you as the leader. And as a leader, you should have addressed this directly with whoever that leader was that was causing these folks to feel that way, to feel undervalued, to feel disrespected, to feel under-empowered or not empowered at all, to feel unclear about their duties and whether they were doing a good job or a bad job, whatever it was. Dude, they gave you the opportunity. They told you that you were a leader. They gave you the feedback that for you was a coaching and a mentoring opportunity, and then ultimately an opportunity for you to address that person that, again, even though you're senior, is still not outside the purview and the objective of leadership to address things that are not serving you, others, or the team and the business as a whole. If you cannot have those conversations, then you cannot be a leader. He had an aha moment when I explained that to him, and I said, because you did not take that responsibility, you only took the responsibility for yourself, and you decided that it was too hard. You are not prepared to be a leader because you did not find the power within yourself and be compelled by others to make sure that others around you were in a better atmosphere or had a better understanding of what was happening or felt like they had a voice. You took that away from them because you only thought about how hard it was on you and not how you had an opportunity to make it better for yourself and others in that environment. So again, leaders out there, have the tough conversations, be direct, and again, it doesn't always have to be hostile, things like that. Like conversations can just be neutral, discovery conversations, etc., to find out how we can all be better. Because once we bring things to people's attention and we can iron out, what the root cause of that is and how we can all be in alignment, man, we can move forward. But if your business is not having the tough conversations that you need to have, and you don't have leaders who are willing to lead up, they only lead down, then you're going to have a really time growing and scaling as a company. Stay lavish, my leaders.